Good afternoon north of 44 degrees. We've been doing a lot of stuff in the barn lately, so let's jump back over into the house. Let's do something different. Let's do a FLIR tour on the house and see how well the insulation is really doing. It ought to be fun. I don't know that I've ever seen this before on any channels. I wanted to do this when it was the warmest part of the day. I just barely missed my window. It was 5 degrees earlier, but the temperature started to fall, so I think it's down to about 3 or 4 degrees. So let's go wander around the house with the FLIR camera. All right, let's start here. Here is the thermometer outside. It is currently 3 degrees and falling. It is over here by the window, 62 degrees inside. I think I have the thermostat set at 69. We hit a high today of 5 degrees, so I don't think it stayed for very long. Let's go look at some other things. We start here at the back door. We can see most of the walls are checking in at 68, 65. The back door, there's a 61, and the coldest area is 51. So about a 51 to 69, almost a 20-degree delta. And my shoes that were just out in the snow. So you can see there, not terribly bad, I suppose. Most of the door looks pretty solid. If we look up, we can see right here at the corner, we do see some cold air seeping in, just a couple degrees. In the laundry room, this will be the first set of windows we look at. Most of the walls checking in at 68, 69 degrees. Up here in the ceiling, 64. In the middle of the window frame, 51. I don't know that there's actually anything I can do to make that any better. If we do look up here at the ceiling light though, the light's been off, so it's the same temperature as everything else, but there is no air seeping in around the light. And the other thing I noticed with these is you see the very coldest areas look like they're pretty evenly spaced, and I would venture a guess that these are the trusses, where the truss meets the wall. Don't know why that would be, but that would be my guess. In the guest room, I think we see largely the same thing. The blind is down, so you got a little bit of diffusion there. So the coldest area is right there at the tail of the window. We can see the heater registers are warmer than everything else. And the corners, and again, up here at the ceiling, are checking in just a few degrees, 4 or 5 degrees cooler than everything else. Ceiling fan is a little bit cooler, but you don't see any major air intrusions around the ceiling fan. Same thing in the guest bath. Nothing spectacular here. This fan does run constantly, so turning over air in the house, but you don't see a significant difference in the temperature of this fan versus everything else. In the kitchen, again, the windows, there is a register right there by the door. There is a very large glass door. And actually not too bad if all things considered. So the wall is kind of 65, the door frame is 56, and around the edges we're at 49 or 50. And the door handle is 48. So overall not bad. You do see the trusses in the ceiling again, but nothing in the lights, showing major air intrusions in the lights. Oh, that's interesting. So this is the center line of the house. And I would be willing to bet, because that is such a large 2x4 and the trusses that extend to it reach above the insulation, and the cold is just transferring down. So we can see that center line, where you don't see that over here on the sides, because the horizontal boards, or the boards that are perpendicular to the walls, are completely covered by insulation, where these are not. My speculation, but I'm liking that theory. That's very interesting. Have not seen that before. I've done this video like 4 times, struggled technically to get it all done, and that did not show up on the days where it was 20 degrees. Front door, same thing. The walls are all 60 and 70 degrees. We see it a little bit up at the top. The glass is at 52. The door handle 52. And down on the floor, 43, 44. So a little bit of air intrusion underneath the door. In the master bath, we do have a little bit of cold air coming in right there on the floor. I wonder if that's, I don't know why that would be the toilet paper stand. I'll have to move that and see. Same thing with the windows. And the corner, but nothing in the ceiling. The one other area I did want to check is the attic hatch. I should turn a light on. I don't know if this is going to show up, but we can see the attic hatch. There's a cold area. And I don't know what I could exactly do about this, other than moving this access to the attic into the garage, where I'm above all that insulation, and completely sealing this up, which is a thought. Anybody out there knows a better way to seal this up so we don't get cold air back here, would be appreciated. There's a look down that hallway. I wonder what it looks like looking back this way. The furnace is all the way down by this end of the house. So if we stop here and turn around and look back this way, we should see that the master bedroom is significant, I won't say significantly, but noticeably cooler than the rest of the house. So you'll see about a 5-degree temperature delta there. Interesting. Let's go look at the crawl space. All right, crawl space. We can see that the furnace is definitely the hottest thing in the place. And we also see pools of cold coming out from underneath, and cold air leaking in around the sill. This trunk line is the cold air return. So we'll see this trunk is expected to be much colder than the supply side. And we'll flip around and look at the supply side in just a second. All right, and there's the supply side of the furnace. And I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get some wrap for this side of the trunk line for the supply side and see if we can warm that up some. You can see that this is 85 degrees where the walls around it is 75 degrees, so we're losing quite a bit. And if we look down here, I wonder what the 76 gets real warm where it bangs into a corner. But 82, yeah, I'm gonna do something with that. You can see all these supply tubes. Let's pull one of these out. And that's what the sill looks like without insulation. So that's 51, 52 degrees. And if we look over here right at the one next door, so that insulation makes a huge, huge difference. TLC, you are wondering about putting some foam right at the base of the sill, and I would say you might want to think about it. It's based on what we're seeing here. I've got leftover EPS board over in the barn. I may put a piece of EPS board in each of these pockets at some point. Might be a fun project when it's 100 degrees outside. So there you have it. FLIR tour of the basement. There's what the house looks like from the outside. -8, -9 degrees. The snow is -20. And the front of the house.